Hi everyone watching Nifty Movie. This is Kristen Kruk and I play Chun-Li in the new movie Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. I hope you enjoy the movie.
What was your favorite costume in the movie?
My favorite costume? You know, it's funny, I don't think the movie's like a costume movie. It's more like street clothes. So it was really lovely and comfortable to be in like boots and like sweats basically. Well, it was more like khakis all day. Mostly I liked it when I didn't have to wear a lot of clothes because it was really hot in the city. So those were the best, or like tank tops. Good.
If you had to choose between beauty and strength, which would you choose?
Strength. I mean, if that was all of my options, which is kind of, you know, wouldn't happen. But like strength by far, because as you age and as you go through your life, you can carry that with you. Beauty you can't.
Have you ever played the video game Street Fighter?
I have not played the game Street Fighter, but I have watched many people play the game Street Fighter, so I'm fairly familiar with how the whole thing works.
Do you play video games? And if you do, what's your favorite?
I don't play video games at all, so I don't have a favorite, although I've watched people play Street Fighter or like Warcraft on the internet.
In terms of being a heroine in the movie?
I didn't look to any outside sources, I don't think, to bring the character to life. I really pulled from my own internal life and from the story of Chun-Li herself that was given to me in the script. So mostly I just looked for the honesty in that and I brought that forward.
Was there anything that you specifically did to prepare for this role?
Yeah, mostly it was all of the physical stuff, so I really spent a lot of time working on the action and working on my physicality so that the fights looked really solid, because I think that's really important for the movie.
This video game was made in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
What's your impression of Japan and Japanese?
You know, it's funny, I was in, I think it was in 6th grade, my teacher was obsessed with Japan, and we all had Japanese pen pals that we wrote back and forth to. So we learned a little bit of Japanese and we like learned some characters, and really, I honestly though do have a very stereotypical impression in my mind of cherry blossoms and like beauty, and that juxtaposed to the like craziness of city life and lights and people everywhere. I've never been, I'm excited to go.
And was that experience, did it come in handy in playing this role?
I was not a rhythmic gymnast, I was an artistic gymnast. So that's like floor, bars, beam, vault, that kind of stuff. And yeah, I think gymnastics, more than even my karate training, came in handy for the entire shoot, especially up in wires and flipping and all. Knowing my body and knowing where I am in the air is really valuable when you're on wires.
What kind of role would you like to play in the future?
I would love to play a variety of different roles. I'd like to start working on movies that are inspiring for people, that help them to consider their lives more deeply and become more interested in improving themselves as human beings.
Are there any directors or actors that you would like to work
with? I love Wes Anderson's kookiness. And I enjoy very much Cate Blanchett. I think she's an amazing actress. And I mean, in some ways they're people I'd love to work with, but also just that I look up to and respect for their work. I just think they're fantastic. In this movie, well, in this movie the things that are really exciting about it are definitely the action sequences, but also very much a spiritual story. It's kind of traditional kung fu movie in some ways, because you follow the arc of somebody being very emotionally driven to get revenge on somebody, which is a very violent act, to understanding that in order to see clearly and in order to grow, one must kind of let go of that anger, and that opens up your entire possibility. And so she does that. So there's a beautiful spiritual journey also that I think is very feminine to kind of counteract the like very masculine strength of the fights.